What's going on, everybody? Marvel the Cross 316, and today I'm going to be ranking all of the MCU films. This is up to Spider-Man No Way Home. It doesn't have Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. I think that movie was not that good, to be honest. So that would probably be going into the C or D column. But let's go ahead now and look at these movies and try to figure out, in my opinion, which ones fit in each column. Remember, this is just subjective. This is not going to be like an accurate expert opinion. This is just based on what I like. Okay, and so this is based on how I have perceived the movies. I've been watching all these movies in order with my fiance over the past year, and I will definitely let y'all know which ones fit the column. So let's go ahead and get started. We have Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. I really like this movie, but it's not like my favorite and everything, so I'm going to put this probably in the B column. It was a pretty good movie, had a lot of humor in it. Love the cast with all the Guardians. An excellent movie in my opinion, but not like it doesn't fit the A or S column. Next, we have Spider-Man. This one has the Vulture in it, so this is Homecoming. I really like this movie too, but it wasn't like an excellent movie by no means, but it was a pretty good introduction for Spider-Man going into the MCU. I'll definitely put that in the B column as well. And so I really liked how Vulture was involved in that movie, but again, it wasn't like an excellent movie. We have Ant-Man and the Wasp coming up next year. Now, Ant-Man and the Wasp, it's kind of a forgetful movie in my opinion. But I think it was definitely better than the first one. But it's not like an excellent movie or anything, so I'm going to put that in the C column. I really didn't like the Ghost. She wasn't like a really big villain in my opinion. But her storyline was okay for the most part. There was some humor in this movie, and it was a good lead up to Infinity War. I'll say that. Now, up next we have Ant-Man. I like this movie just a slightly less than the second movie, but I feel like Ant-Man and the Wasp and the first Ant-Man are kind of the same. They're kind of equal in my opinion, so I'll put them in the C column. Ant-Man is a good character, and I like Scott Lang as a character. Um, but when you think of the whole scope of the MCU movies, they're just not the best as compared to, Captain America or Iron Man or Thor. Ant-Man is kind of a C-level uh, superhero in my opinion. He's not like a big superhero. Now we got Avengers Age of Ultron. I definitely like the movie, but it's, again, another uh, forgetful movie in my opinion, and there's just a lot of things going on in that movie, and it's not the strongest Avengers movie in my opinion. So I think that would definitely be going into, gosh, I think that's going to have to go in the C column, just because I think Ultron could have been a better villain, and I don't feel like he should have died in that movie, to be honest, because Ultron is such a important villain to the Avengers, especially if you read the comic books, that I don't think he should have died. But I still like that movie, so that's going to go in the C column at least. It was like an average or kind of below average movie. It's kind of forgetful in my opinion. All right, Avengers Affinity War. This is one of my favorite movies, and this is going to go in the S column. I mean, I think this is my very favorite movie, to be honest with you. It had incredible pacing. It ended in a way that no one expected, with Thanos snapping his fingers and half of the universe dies. I mean, the comedy, just the action, it was everything that you needed in a superhero movie. That's why I'm going to put that in the S column, and I would say it is my favorite MCU movie. And that's saying something, because I really liked Spider-Man No Way Home, I'm going to also put that in the S column as well, because that movie had everything I wanted in a Spider-Man movie. It really did. It had all of the old villains that I saw in the original Spider-Man trilogy, and it was just everything I loved happened in that movie. So that definitely goes into the S column. Black Panther is another average movie. It's not like it's something that I loved or anything, so I'm gonna definitely put that, probably want to put that in the C column too, because it's nothing like big or anything, but I do like the Black Panther character, but it's kind of a forgetful movie too. Captain America Civil War was a really good movie. I really loved how it was had all these superheroes in it. I'm going to put that in the B column. That definitely was a really good movie. It introduced the Black Panther. It introduced Spider-Man. That was a big one right there for me. When I saw the trailer for that movie and Spider-Man was in the trailer, that really hyped me up, and I really enjoyed watching it in the theater, so I definitely put that in the B column. The original Captain America movie was an excellent movie. I'm definitely putting that in the A column. The reason why I put it in the A column is because it's the origin story of Captain America, and the movie, for the most part, delivers very well. It tells the origin of Captain America pretty good, in my opinion, and it's one of the first MCU movies, and once again, it's just a classic in my opinion. It's something I would always be willing to watch again. I really love this Captain America, and Steve Rogers, in my opinion, will always be Captain America. You can't replace Steve Rogers as Captain America. He is Captain America. Captain America Winter Soldier, that is definitely an A movie. And the reason for that is just awesome pacing. A lot of tension is in that movie. When I remember watching it. You got Black Widow in it, Nick Fury, and of course the Winter Soldier. And it was an awesome movie in my opinion. All right, Captain Marvel D. That movie sucked. Let me tell you, it was awful. Brie Larson, despite her politics, which I disagree with, I just did not enjoy this movie. It seems very awkward a lot of times in the movie, the way she acted, and there's only really one Captain Marvel in my opinion, and it is the original Captain Marvel from the 1960s. Carol Danvers is supposed to be Miss Marvel. I've always seen her as Miss Marvel, and I felt like this movie just was just something to hype up for, wokeism and the feminist and stuff. So I definitely didn't like that movie. The original Doctor Strange movie was good. I'm definitely going to put that in the A column too. It was a good origin story. I really enjoyed that movie, to be honest. It was something a little different, and it introduced Dormammu. It was just a good origin story. I really liked how Doctor Strange he had to be humbled, and then he became Doctor Strange, the Sorcerer Supreme. It's a good origin story. Guardians of the Galaxy is another good one. I'm going to put that in the A column too. It's a good origin story of the team, had a lot of humor. It was pretty much, in my opinion, the very first MCU movie to introduce a lot of humor. And the reason for that is it was the perfect cast. And so I like that movie a little more than Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Avengers Endgame, I'm going to have to put that in the B column. The reason for that is because it was just too long of a movie. 3 hours is just too much. And I felt like it was a little too lazy with the writing. I mean, come on, you're going to have to revert to time travel to defeat Thanos. It could have been a lot better if the movie was shorter and if time travel wasn't involved. I thought that was kind of a cheap way out, to be honest. But I did enjoy the ending of the movie. The ending was satisfying. And in my opinion, it is one of the last greatest MCU movies that has come out here lately. I have not liked the Phase 4 of the MCU so far. It's not been good. Excuse me, it has not been good. I haven't seen Thor Love and Thunder yet though. All right, Iron Man 2, that one is kind of a forgetful movie. I'm going to probably put that in the C column. It was a decent movie, to be honest, but it's just the only thing that I remember from that movie is the introduction of the Black Widow and the fight with between Iron Man and Rhodey. All right, and Iron Man 3 right there along with Iron Man 2. Not that good of a movie, to be honest. Kind of forgetful as well. The Mandarin, they really butchered the Mandarin in that movie. Mandarin is such an important movie. He is like the Green Goblin to Spider-Man to Iron Man. Iron Man's arch nemesis is the Mandarin. And they just ruined it for me. For Mandarin, they made him a joke. So that's definitely going in the C column. Now, the original Iron Man, that is going in the A column. That was an excellent introduction to the MCU. Robert Downey Jr., there will never be another great cast for Iron Man than Robert Downey Jr. He is by far the best choice for Iron Man, and he, in my opinion, will always be Iron Man. And this movie was excellent, in my opinion. I watched this, of course, with my now fiance, and she loved it. And this is one of the movies that got her interested in the MCU to begin with when we started watching the movies in order. The original Avengers movie, I'm putting that in the S column. That was an excellent, very satisfying movie to watch in theaters when I first watched it in 2012. It is evenly paced. Loki appears very villainous, very strong. Like you can take him serious as a villain, and gosh, it was just an excellent movie at the time, and it still stands as one of the greatest MCU films, excuse me, of all time, in my opinion. That was an excellent movie. The original Hulk movie, that one, is kind of forgetful in my opinion because we have so many of these movies now, and Hulk has been in the MCU now since the beginning, and I think Hulk needed to have we needed to have another Hulk movie that introduced him after Avengers with Mark Ruffalo as Hulk instead of this version of Hulk here, but it's part of the MCU, and I can't really remember too much about it, but it's just one of the movies I had to watch, and of course, it's not on Disney Plus. Thor, I'm gonna probably put that in the B column. It wasn't like like a really really cool movie, to be honest. It's a good origin story, but I would say it is one of the weakest of the 3 Thor movies that I've seen. I haven't seen Thor Love and Thunder, like I said, but it's not my favorite Thor movie. Now, Thor Ragnarok, that is definitely going in the A column. Had excellent humor. It is my favorite Thor movie. Has the Hulk in it. Loki, of course. We had the introduction of Valkyrie, which I don't really like. The actress who plays Valkyrie in that movie, I think we could have had a better actress to play Valkyrie. But other than that, this definitely sets up, Infinity War, and it's a really good movie, in my opinion. Thor Dark World is going in the C column. Well, let me change something real quick. I'm going to put, well, never mind. I'm going to keep Thor here. Thor: Dark World actually is the weakest of the Thor movies. I got that wrong. Thor, the first one was really good, but Thor: Dark World was better, or was worse in my opinion. And the reason for that is just it's forgetful, and the Dark Elves and everything. That movie was kind of a snooze fest in my opinion. All right, Spider-Man: Far From Home going in the B column. It was a good movie. Had the introduction of Mysterio. I liked it. Had some humor, of course. It was a pretty good movie, but it was average. Wasn't like excellent, but above average. Black Widow going in the D column. Did not like Black Widow. That movie could have been so much better if we had Hawkeye in it instead of the sister of Black Widow. It could have been better if they wouldn't have butchered the Taskmaster. Come on, Taskmaster is a dude. He's not a woman, and that just ruined it for me. Taskmaster is a big villain for the Avengers and for Black Widow, and they just ruined it for me. The Eternals also is going in the D column. It was too woke for me. Too woke. And then, of course, there's too many characters they introduced at once. So you're trying to keep up. If you don't know the Eternals that well, which a lot of people don't, you're trying to figure out who is who. And it was a mess. A mess. And then Shang-Chi is also going to go in the C column. It was a meh movie, in my opinion. It was okay, but still, like I said, it's part of the MCU Phase 4, and Phase 4, in my opinion, has been a phase bore, in my opinion. MCU Phase bore compared to the first 3 phases. But anyway, I would say Spider-Man: No Way Home has been the best MCU movie for the Phase 4. I haven't seen Thor: Love and Thunder. That might change some of this, but I've heard mixed reviews about it, and I'll see if I'll go see it, or I might just wait and see it when it comes on Disney Plus. But anyway, folks, here it is. We have all the rankings, all the movies ranked here. And so I hope you liked and thought this was interesting. I just wanted to go ahead and do this for everybody. I do love Marvel movies. I like the good ones, not the bad ones. But overall, the MCU has definitely been entertaining for the most part. But it's definitely not been the best lately. But anyways, I would like to know what how y'all would rank these movies. Comment down below. And as always, like this video, and I will see y'all in the next one.